Hey everyone, let's talk about two awesome islands called São Tomé and Príncipe. They're tucked away in the Gulf of Guinea, off the west coast of Africa. People call them the Chocolate and Coffee Islands because, well, they're famous for their chocolate and coffee. Way back in the 1400s, Portuguese explorers found these islands, which were empty back then. They brought people from Africa to work on sugar plantations, and sugar was the big export for a long time. Later, cocoa and coffee became super important. São Tomé and Príncipe were once the biggest cocoa producers in the whole world. Even today, their cocoa and coffee beans are top-notch. They became an independent country in 1975. São Tomé and Príncipe are bursting with cool plants and animals. Many of them live only on these islands. That's because these islands are far away from everything else and have been on their own for millions of years. Over 140 kinds of birds live there. Birdwatchers love it, and in the ocean around the islands you can see whales, dolphins, and sea turtles. The islands are working hard to protect all these amazing creatures. These islands are famous for their gorgeous beaches, thick rainforests, and giant volcanoes. There's something for everyone. Pico Cao Grande, a huge volcanic rock that shoots up from the rainforest, is one of the most photographed spots. If you love nature, you have to visit Obo National Park. It's huge and covers a big part of both islands, protecting lots of different habitats. You can hike, watch birds, and even swim in waterfalls. And if you just want to chill on the beach, there are tons of choices like Praia Jail and Praia Piscina. Cocoa and coffee plantations are a big part of the history of São Tomé and Príncipe. These plantations started a long time ago when Portugal ruled the islands. They made a lot of money for the Portuguese. Today you can visit some of these plantations and learn how cocoa and coffee are grown, picked, and made. But it's important to remember the sad part of this story. These plantations used enslaved Africans for labor. The impact of slavery and colonialism is still felt today. Many people think these plantations should be changed and used to help the people living there now. Even though they're small, São Tomé and Príncipe are full of surprises. Did you know they have their own money called the dobra? It has pictures of local plants and animals on it. Also, these islands are super close to the equator, so it's warm and sunny all year round. Get this, they have both the smallest and largest birds in Africa. The tiny dwarf olive ibis lives in Príncipe, and the giant Goliath heron lives on both islands. The people of São Tomé and Príncipe are known for being warm, welcoming, and loving music and dance. Lots of different groups of people live there, including families of Portuguese colonists, people whose ancestors were brought from Africa, and people who came to work from other parts of Africa. This mix of cultures makes it a really interesting place. Music and dancing are a big part of their festivals and celebrations. Visitors always talk about how friendly everyone is. The official language is Portuguese, but most people speak Foro. It's like a mix of Portuguese and African languages and is super interesting. It shows how languages change over time. Learning a few words in Foro can make your trip even better. It's a way to show respect and connect with the people who live there. The food in São Tomé and Príncipe is amazing. It's a mix of African and Portuguese tastes, and they use a lot of fresh seafood. Kalulu, a fish stew with palm oil, veggies, and herbs, is super popular. You should also try arroz de peixe, a rice dish with fish, tomatoes, onions, and peppers. And don't forget the fruit. They have tons of mangoes, pineapples, papayas, and bananas. You can find small, local restaurants serving traditional food all over the islands. São Tomé and Príncipe offer a really special trip. There are beautiful beaches, rainforests, mountains, interesting history, fun culture, and tasty food. Not many tourists go there yet, so you can see the real beauty of the islands. If you want to go somewhere different and exciting, these islands should be at the top of your list.